Hey there, it's Jimmy with Schmancy Wino. That's Jimmy, not James. James is home in Indiana preparing for the Indiana fall and winter, which I assume means he's buying corduroy pants and probably sewing the little leather elbow patches on his tweed coat. We're here today to drink wine. Specifically, this here bottle of Gott 2014 Unoaked California Chardonnay from the aptly named Gott winemaker. What can we tell you about Gott? He's from a winemaking family, or at least in the wine business. His father and grandfather were both in the wine biz. He got his start, according to what I've read on the internets, in 1996 with, I think he bought 5 tons of Zinfandel grapes. Some random trivia for you. And from that, over the last 20 years now, he is a fairly established winemaker, well known in Napa. Definitely, focuses on good quality value wines, which if you've seen any of our other videos, you know that's what my brother and I gravitate towards, looking for wines that everyday people can have on every day. What else can I tell you about it? Focuses on blending. Just about every wine they do, they really are focusing on getting just the right blend. Getting grapes from all over the state of California, but all the way up into Oregon and Washington as well. This wine, the Unoaked Chardonnay, grapes are coming from Monterey, Napa, and Sonoma, I believe. And you'll notice when you see my brother's video, we actually have 2 different vintages. I have the 2014 and he has the 2011. And there was a difference between those 2 seasons by quite a bit. The 2011 California vintage was a long, cool growing season, and that was not the case in 2014. It was pretty short. And since I've already had some of this, I can tell you that this is not as complex as I probably would have liked, and we'll get to that here in a minute. And I'm betting that's not the same case in the 2011. So, good job 2011. Not that that was a bad thing in 2014. It worked out just fine. This is a great wine. As far as why I'm excited to review this wine, it's because it's an unoaked Chardonnay. And I've always avoided Chardonnay like the plague. Never liked it. And that was all based on every example I'd had before that was heavy oaked, which is usually what like Chardonnay drinkers love. They want, the more oak, the better. They want it to taste like a stick of butter. I don't. I want to cook with butter. I want to eat butter and everything, but I don't want to drink it. So I've always avoided Chardonnay. Once I had an unoaked, it was pretty, I don't know. I really enjoyed that it opened up another style of wine for me to have. Anyway, enough about that. Gott's going for a Chablis style wine with this, so you're going to have a little bit more refreshing, crisp, minerality kind of thing going on. So. Enough about that. Let's actually try the thing. We're going to call that, I don't know, maybe somewhere between straw and pale gold or light gold. Yeah. That's what we're going for. There's a little viscosity to it too, you can tell. I guess there's, viscosity is a degree of things, so a little, I guess, counts as a quantifier. Anyway, let's give it a whiff. Right off the bat, I get melon, lots of melon, and there's maybe a little bit of stone fruit. And I was talking to my brother the other day, so if you hear the word stone fruit, what they're talking about is fruits with stones inside of them. So, peaches, for example, would be a good one of those. Apricots and whatnot. I get a little bit of that here. Couldn't tell you which specific one, but I get a little of that in there. And a little bit of citrus. I want to say some lemon. Let's give it a taste. Lots of acid. That's nice, actually. Gotta enjoy that. Another thing I like about Unoaked Chardonnay, you get that crispness, so it's a good summer drink. Which, despite the fact that I'm wearing a hoodie, we still got a little bit of warm weather left here in September. But this would be great for a summer night or a summer day, summer morning. I won't judge. Try it again. Yeah. Still get the mineral, which I expected. Pretty good finish. Longer than like Sauv Blancs and stuff, I feel like. Yeah, like that. If you like melon, you like citrus, maybe not so much citrus, but mystery fruit, tropical fruit kind of thing, I think you'll dig it. As far as what to pair this with, I just saw something out of the corner of my eye I forgot to mention. So the alcohol in this is 13.9%, should you care. Pairings. I would say chicken or fish. Chicken or fish. I am going to have it with some black rockfish tacos. The black rockfish, for you fishing dorks, came from the west coast of Washington. I don't know why I pointed out the west coast. We don't have an east coast of Washington, but whatever. The out there on the coast at Westport, went on a fishing charter and got a bunch of lingcod and black rockfish. And the black rockfish I particularly like in tacos, so we're going to try that with this here wine. Grade wise, I'm going to say a solid B+. I really like the crisp, lively, refreshing taste. I think it'd be exceptionally good on a warm night. It's missing a little bit of complexity there. I think if it was a little bit more, you get a little bit of, I don't know if there's a little more floral on the nose, and maybe if there was a little more, citrus in the taste, maybe it'd go up to an A. But I think it's a fine wine. I'm going to call it a B+. And I think the value, the price range on this goes from $13 to $16. I paid, I think, $13.29 or something like that for it at Total Wine. Seems perfectly good value for that. So B+, good job, Joel Gott. Thanks. Good luck. Cheers.
Hey everyone, welcome again to Fancy Schmancy Wino. I'm James, not Jimmy. Like we said before, we're two guys with the same name, drinking the same wines, and sharing our thoughts with folks just like you. As you heard earlier in this episode and saw, we're trying a Chard, in particular the 2011 Joel Gott Chardonnay. If you're familiar with Chardonnay wines, the thing that jumps out to most people, especially when we think about American Chardonnays, are that over-oaked, or maybe not over-oaked, but certainly the oaked approach, where you've got to create a buttery or butterscotch, toasty vanilla accents on it. And really, many times, you kind of lose any sense of fruit. And so we thought it would be fun to do an unoaked Chardonnay. And I'm sure he's brought you up to speed on who Joel Gott is and the winery. And so I'm just going to share my thoughts about the wine, and in particular compared to other Chardonnays I've had. So again, this is the 2011 Chardonnay. It's a good deal at $15, a little bit higher end than some of the maybe the Trader Joe's out there, but still pretty reasonable. And right off the bat, you're seeing that it's kind of a maybe darker than straw. Right there, yellow. I mean, certainly we've seen darker white wines, as much of an oxymoron as that kind of is. But this is a nice medium yellow, a nice sight. Right offhand, I noticed a little bit of not carbonation, but some bubbles, and it's a nice looking wine. Yeah. So right off, you don't get that buttery aroma that you expect in so many Chardonnays. It's maybe more reminiscent of a Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah, apple, maybe pear, certainly the citrus. It's got more of that crisp, refreshing scent to it that, on a warm day where, maybe the oaked red wines, oaked white wines don't quite appeal to you, this has that crisp white aroma that you'd like to have, and you drink a big cold glass of it. Yeah, so again, it's coming off refreshing and crisp, so let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Cheers. So when I think of Sauvignon Blancs, usually get some of that grapefruit on there, as well as maybe some grass. In this case, the citrus is a little bit more muted. There's just the slightest effervescence on it, which is kind of cool, and just part of the process, I guess. But yeah, it's not as strong of a citrus taste as one might expect from the flavor or from the aroma. I still, and maybe it's just perceptions or what you're expecting, I still get just the slightest hint of maybe not butter, but maybe a little bit nutty. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that from oaked. Unoaked is a little bit different for me, maybe you as well, but much more refreshing than the typical Chardonnay, or at least Chardonnay as we think of it. Yeah, a muted citrus, a nice acidity. As you think about what to put it with, I can certainly picture a nice, going well with a salad, whereas some of the other Chardonnays or oaked wines are too heavy. This would be a light pairing to go with it that would kind of enhance the salad, go with chicken or some other light meat within the salad. I could also see maybe trying with some spicy food. A lot of times with your Thai foods or your Hispanic Mexican foods, you think of a Gewürztraminer or maybe a Riesling, but I think an unoaked Chardonnay might be a nice match for those. Yeah, I mean, again, a lighter meal where you don't want to overpower what you're eating. Maybe a light chicken breast. Lemon chicken, something that, again, doesn't need to be outweighed by what you're drinking, and this would go well with that. So we've done several reds, and we've done a Sauvignon Blanc, and so this was a nice wine to move on to, a nice crisp white that would go well with a lot of lighter foods. So yeah, go out and get yourself a bottle at $15. I don't think you can go wrong with this. And this is the 2011, so it's had some aging going on, and they're out of California. So great wine for the price. Each week we try to give a rating, a grade, and so I'm probably going to go with a B+. Yeah, it's really good, enjoyable, light. I think it's a reasonable deal for the $15, and so a B+ seems like a fair grade. Next week, we're going to go back to the reds, probably seeing that's where we like to end up at. And we thought it would be fun as we head into the fall season to try something that's going to get a cool name. And so we're going to go with the Apothic Inferno. If you haven't seen it, newer wine, just came out by the Apothic company, known for crush and dark and red. Apothic Inferno. So if you're drinking with us, go out and find one at your local wine retailer or grocery store. And that's what we'll do next week. So in the meantime, for Fancy Schmancy Wino, cheers.